Hello and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5, Blueprint Mastery, Door Systems and Interactive Portals. So, last time we finished with our double door. Now, let's open the next eye. Here we are on our shortcut door, which will be a door that from one side it doesn't open, it says locked, and when you go from the other side, you can unlock it. To do this, we need to do a very small pre-work. We need to go back to our enumeration eDoor state, and we need to add an enumerator, and let's call it locked. I'm gonna save. For us, it won't really change anything in the previous doors, like having locked here doesn't do anything because this door cannot be locked. But even on update widget, it doesn't type none here. I was expecting to say none, something like this, but it seems it's keeping it empty. So it didn't really affect, but maybe in other systems, adding to enumerators after you have used them, it's not recommended. Now, we added the locked category into an enumerator. Let's go to the door folder and let's duplicate the opposite from player again. Let's call this one BP shortcut door. And let's open it. Again, we need to change a few things, but not a lot. So the first thing we will do is separate the animation and sound part to an event on its own, so we can call it. Just want to put this up here. And I'm going to create a custom event and call it door animation. And connect it to the switch. We want also to change the default door state to locked. I'll compile and save. And now we need to create a mechanism to check if the door is locked. And this is pretty simple. We're going to bring our enumeration. We're going to do an equal enum, not equal operator, because this will turn it to a byte. And we want it to be an equal enum, so we can choose from the enumerators. So I'm going to choose locked. I'm going to put a branch again with B and click. And when E is pressed, I'm going to check if it's locked. We need some room over here. All right. Then, if it's not locked, we're just going to animate door. Door animation. We're going to play the door animation. But if it is locked, we need to create a mechanic for the lock rules. So we're going to create a custom event. We're going to call it shortcut door lock mechanic. Alrighty. And we need to call it over here. So shortcut door lock mechanic. Now whenever we're pressing E, we are checking if it's locked. If it's locked, the mechanic is playing. Let's check if the player is on the front side. And what we can use is basically the calculate direction. We just need basically the angle that it calculated. But I want to demonstrate something else. I want to copy this code over here, which tells us that if it's above or equal to 0, it's in front. If it's less, it's on the back side. And what I'm going to do is create another function. And I'm going to call this function is front side, question mark. And I'm going to make this function pure. And pure functions always need an output. And I'm going to rename this output to front side. I'm going to paste the code that we copied and connect this operator or this result over here, and we have this function. Now let's go call this function. I'm going to go to our shortcut door mechanic and bring is front side. As you can see, it's really different compared to the other functions. let's see the calculate direction. It has an execution input and execution output. This one is just green. It's just like the get player controller. It's like has component has tag. Looks like this. This is because pure functions only execute some operations without setting something inside them, setting any variable or anything inside here. As you can see, it's just pure mathematical expression, a function, and it has an output of a boolean. We don't set anything. We could be setting local variables because functions have these local variables over here that exist only in the function while it runs, and then they disappear almost. But every time the function runs, creates these new variables, and every time it uses them, it deletes them afterwards, which is very optimal. So pure functions should not have things that are being set unless they're local variables. This is the resume of it. And of course, they do not require execution, and they have a result of some action. So I'm going to press a branch here. I'm going to connect this here, and we are asking if we are in front side. Again, this could be done if the angles are -90, we would have been in the front side. So just wanted to demonstrate this pure function. And we can also put a not here, a not boolean, and negate this. So the true will mean unlock, and the false will mean not unlock. If it's false, we are in the front side. If it's true, we are not in the front side, we are in the back side, because we put this not here, which makes this boolean opposite. If it's true, we want to set the door state, and this would be close, because after we unlocked, the door stays closed. Then we can play a sound. Play sound. I think it's called door unlock. Yep. And since this door is supposed to be locked, let's go to the door, and we have to demonstrate it to the player somehow. I'm gonna select the door, and I'm gonna change the material to, I think it's door 1 locked. Yep, here it is. Door 1 locked, so it's red. And when we unlock it, it should change colors. I'm gonna go to event graph over here, that when we set it to close, we play the unlock sound, and we're gonna get our door. We're gonna set material, and then we're gonna select door 1. And as you can see, there is an element index. If the door had more materials, then I could select the appropriate index to change. But we have only one material, so we just change element index 0. The next thing that should happen is to update the widget, because it will go from locked to open, basically. And we have to set here also that it's saying locked. When the door is locked, the widget says locked. But what if I'm standing in a side that I can unlock it? It should be saying unlock. So to do this, we're gonna do a select. I'm gonna do a select text. As you can see, we already have this option, the one with the boolean, if B pick A, if A is true, and the one that is select, which has the while node. Make sure you use the one with the boolean. I'm gonna bring the is front side again. I'm gonna connect it here, and if it's front side, let's say seems locked from the other side. And if we are on the other side, it should say unlocked. Now let's compile and save, so our widget will update correctly. What is left to do is to do something when the player tries to open it, presses E, the door is locked and it's standing from the wrong side. So what we're going to create is a door rattle animation, but we're going to do this in the next one. I think this is enough for this one. I'm going to see you then. Goodbye.